I was real young the first time I ever drank. I was maybe 10 years old.
Well, the first time I drank was 12 years old.
I was 11.
Yeah, about 9.
There was this guy that I liked, and he called me up and asked me to come over.
He came up with the idea about sneaking out in the middle of the night.
I said, what the hell?
Experimenting, I didn't know what it did to me.
What can this do to me? This a liquor. I drink water, I drink pop. Why can't I drink that? Fall right into it.
It changed me a lot. Drinking really changed me a lot.
I was getting stupid. For real stupid.
I did a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of stuff I regret.
Do something not right while I was drunk.
It made me powerless over my life.
Just fighting people all the time.
And I just get crazy.
While I was drinking.
I was messed up.
I was just feeling real sick.
I was so scared.
A couple times I had blacked out.
It starts killing you slowly.
It gives you a headache forever.
The stick shift went in my stomach and ruptured my spleen.
Destroying my family.
Yeah, you just don't care.
And most of all, I didn't care about myself.
And it just caused me a lot of problems.
When someone else is telling their story, other kids don't care because it's not them. But if they continue drinking, it will be them.
Alcohol. It's a part of our world. See it on TV, hear it on the radio, billboards, magazines.
For some of you, it's in your homes. Maybe someday it will end up in your best friend's locker.
As you grow and get older, you will likely see that there's more of it around. This video is here to help you become aware of some of the problems that come along with alcohol, some of the dangers.
We are not here to try to scare you or to try to boss you around. We are here to show you the very true and very real problems of alcohol, a very different truth and reality than the one that advertisers try to show.
They're trying to make a business out of alcohol. They're hoping to promote their product and make a profit. They're not wanting people to have a drinking problem, but they're very happy to sell as much beer as they can. They don't really care if you pour it down the drain as long as you buy it.
You look on TV and you got beer commercials. You look in a magazine, you see all these beer ads.
They do have people hypnotized with that.
What happens the next morning when you wake up and you got a hangover and a headache and you don't want to face the day? You know, that they don't show that on TV.
How they show the girls in the bikinis drinking beer.
They don't show you going to school with sunglasses on.
Anybody can drink Budweiser.
They don't show you puking your guts out in the morning.
As if everyone who drinks is healthier, happier, and having more fun.
It's never going to happen.
It's a downright lie, but it's done to promote the sales and profit of beer.
And when you wake up in the morning, it's the worst feeling. Your stomach hurts.
The next day, man, you can't move. You will wake up like, what I do last night? And you will have to sit there and you will think about it.
Did I go home? Would I drink? Who was here?
Then it finally click in like, oh, you did this, you did that.
What did I act like? What time did I pass out?
You'll be playing little pictures in your head about how you looked and how you was acting. You'll be like, damn, I was acting stupid last night.
Drinking is stupid.
It's like all I wanted to do was negative stuff.
Makes me think I don't want to live. Well, I just don't care.
Didn't care about nobody.
Just made you not care even more.
Because while you're drunk, you just don't even know who's your friend or not.
It's just, it messed up my life.
Why? Why do people let it hurt them? Well, alcohol is a drug. For some, it's a stimulant. For others, a depressant.
It alters the brain chemistry in such a way that it lets inhibitions go. This feeds on itself. One drink impairs judgment, the second makes it worse.
By the third drink,
the first thing to go is your judgment. You don't have the capacity anymore to evaluate the situation and say, is this really something I want to continue with? You lose that capacity to judge what's safe, what's unsafe. Even with your first drink, your judgment shifts.
Your whole perception of things are different.
I felt that I can do whatever I wanted to. No one can stop me.
Like you a superhero or something. Like you can just,
Do whatever we liked.
Felt invincible.
like a false courage.
You couldn't touch me.
That's alcohol thinking. That's the kind of impairment that alcohol causes your judgment.
I'm not really thinking about consequences or anything.
I'll walk down a highway
You can get hit by a car and
right in the middle of the highway.
like you won't feel it or something.
Things didn't hit me. Things didn't affect my mind like they do when I don't drink.
That's the way alcohol makes you think.
This is a problem. Obviously, a mind without care or remorse will end up hurting itself and others. A brain without fear becomes dangerous.
All I wanted to do was negative stuff.
Angry person,
I got into a lot of fights while I was drunk
hurt people.
It shortened my fuse.
to test people.
Someone said something that made me mad, I just beat them down.
It'll jump from a conversation to an argument to a fight.
I beat people up
While I was drinking.
just for the fun of it.
Wild.
When I used to drink, my perception of good and bad, negative and positive, there was no line between them. It was whatever I wanted to do.
I've stolen cars before when I was drunk.
Jumping in cars with people I didn't even know.
I used to drive drunk
Staying the night at people's houses I didn't even know.
when I was drunk. My cousin handed me a gun.
I did a lot of crazy stuff.
And I shot.
My list could go on and on about the crazy things I've done that I regret.
And until this day, I don't know if anyone died. And I don't want to think about that. That's one of the biggest things I regret.
It's scary. It's really scary.
Kids drink because they see other kids drink. They drink to feel older, to escape, to experience intensity. Do not think that it is a way to have fun.
So you may ask yourself, well, my parents do it, my cousins do it, my uncles do it. What's wrong with that? What are they losing out on? You say, oh, nothing. They couldn't be any better than they are. Do you know that? Have you ever seen them sober?
Don't let someone tell you that drinking is the way to have fun. Almost every single time, drinking alcohol will lead to problems that are less fun.
You are going to start having a worse time than you would if you were sober. I guarantee you.
It's disgusting. I find it repulsive now. That's the truth. It gets me sick to my stomach to watch people.
They look real ignorant. They look
real silly.
They look real nasty, really, to tell you the truth. Smelling like alcohol,
You know, slurred speech.
slurring when they talk.
Their eyes are real low.
They need somebody to babysit them.
There's a law, and it's there for a reason.
Alcohol is a rather unusual liquid chemical that is created by fermenting natural foods. What is formed is ethyl alcohol.
Other alcohols, such as isopropyl alcohol, found in window cleaners and disinfectants, and methyl alcohol, found in paint remover and antifreeze, are both instantly poisonous to humans.
Ethyl alcohol, found in liquor bottles, is also poisonous when too much is poured into the human body.
Too often, however, it is too late. The damage is done. The poison inside the bottle kills.
He was, I guess, happy-go-lucky. Sorta. Yeah, he was everybody's friend. He was nice to everyone.
He was always out for making people smile, making people laugh. He didn't have a good day unless he helped somebody else's day.
He had, hopes and dreams just like every other kid, and
He was just a great guy.
he was drinking and drunk and silly and just acting like a silly drunk.
Chris had a McDonald's cup of Coke or something with some sort of liquor mixed in them. I'm not sure what it was.
And once you're drunk, you can't think anymore. You can't react to things. You don't process.
He was wobbling around.
So we were already mad at Chris. We were angry.
I was getting frustrated because it's my buddy and he's drinking. And
I think you've had enough. Why don't you slow down?
so I took it from him and dumped it out. And he's like, well, that's all right. I still got another bottle in my bag. And he pulled out a bottle of vodka.
Dan physically grabbed the bottle.
At least I grabbed it in his hands, and he held on to it, and we kind of wrestled over it for a minute.
And it was like, no, you've had enough.
And that was a little much.
He passed out. We're like, oh boy.
He was just lying on the curb.
He passed out.
We picked him up and got him in my car.
We put him in the car, Dan and I, and
Robin and I drove him back to my house.
and I was laughing. I laughed the whole time because watching Dan and his dad try to carry Chris into the house was almost funny because it was slippery. We couldn't carry him, and
We figured the best thing for him was sleep, so we went back out. We didn't have much of a night.
I got a phone call from Dan really early in the morning.
He was dead by 7.
You're kidding me. You know, what could have happened? I didn't even realize that it was from the alcohol.
I just kind of fell onto my knees on the kitchen floor, and my whole body went numb.
And turns out that whole time we were in the car, and I was laughing as they were dragging him into the house. His brain stem swelled, and he was actually in a coma. And he was dying that whole time.
Kids do drink too much and die in a single episode. I mean, it doesn't have to wait for 20 years for cirrhosis and liver cancer to develop. You can just die from alcohol poisoning. Or, more often, way more often, fall into some tragic accident, like an auto accident with a drunk driver.
Yeah, my cousin died when I got here, a month after I got here. He was only 14.
So a lot of people have died, though, when they were drunk.
And he was drunk and he was in a car accident.
Gunshot wounds, being stabbed.
Another one of my cousins died the same way. It was like the same exact accident.
And some people just died because too much alcohol. It's like poison.
One of my friends drank so much he was alcohol poisoned. He almost died.
And you could be drinking, slowly killing yourself. It ain't gotta be no accident. It can just be a blackout that you never overcome.
If we'd have left him, he'd have been dead.
Young deaths.
There's just so many times when going into a night you don't know what's gonna happen.
Kids just start drinking it, and they do it because other kids are doing it.
If you don't die, consider yourself lucky.
If it could happen to him, it could happen to me.
It destroys lives.
It could have been you. And it could be you.
And what they don't realize is that there wouldn't be people telling them the dangers of drinking if it wasn't a danger, if it wasn't a serious danger.
Even if someone doesn't die, someone gets sick, someone gets in a fight, someone cheats on their girlfriend or says something they shouldn't have.
It's not that great of a thing. Not worth getting involved in, when considering the risks and dangers.
The damage comes fast with arguments and fights, accidents, breaking the law.
Instead of jumping up in the morning to have clean, healthy fun, a headache, and a feeling of regret.
And the damage comes slow, as the human body is not designed to handle the powerful chemical of alcohol.
This is a slice through an actual human liver. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
So when I think about what the liver is and what it does, I like to think of a washing machine. So in a washing machine, you put dirty clothes in and clean clothes come out, right? If you do it properly, right? Yeah. So the liver is kind of like the washing machine in your body. Blood travels through there where it gets cleaned and filtered, and then clean blood comes out, right? Yeah.
So what's in blood that's so important?
Oxygen.
Oxygen, right. Every cell in your body needs oxygen to function. So when you run, when you make a fist, anything, all those cells are using oxygen.
And alcohol does some very critical things to your liver. It prevents the blood from being cleaned and from being filtered. And so when that happens, your liver gets really sick. This right here is a diseased liver. It's a slice from an actual human diseased liver. And these little yellow marks right here are scars. This is what's called a cirrhotic liver, and this is what happens when you drink too much alcohol. So your liver gets really sick, and you can't clean the blood properly in your system, so you get really, really sick. And it can even sometimes lead to death.
Another thing that this scarring can lead to, or just drinking alcohol alone can lead to, is cancer. A lot of people know that smoking is linked to lung cancer. Well, a lot of times people don't make the association that alcohol is linked to cirrhosis and also to liver cancer. So people who drink have a higher chance of getting metastatic liver cancer.
It is something that your body does not need, that is damaging to every part of the body that it comes in contact with. The primary areas that it comes in contact with are the brain, the circulatory system, the liver, which tries to remove the alcohol that comes into the body but cannot. Alcohol will injure the cells of the liver, and a person can become very, very, very sick. With the heart, it can damage the heart. Initially, it will make the blood pressure go down, but eventually it will cause the heart rate and the blood pressure to go up. In some cases, sudden death can occur from too much alcohol intake because of this injury to the heart itself. When alcohol hits the brain, it has a direct effect on the nervous cells themselves. As we know, the brain is filled with millions, billions of nerves, nerve cells and nerve endings. And all the activities that our body does, whether it be functioning of the heart, our breathing, just moving, talking, seeing, those are all coordinated by activities in the brain.
Today we brought an actual human brain. I also brought along this cord that comes off of the brain. Does anybody know what that might be?
Spinal
cord. Yeah, the spinal cord, right?
Alcohol will cause injury to the brain cells, your ability to do things, how you talk, how you move, how you respond, your reflexes.
Good. You're showing quick reflexes. One of the things that alcohol does to the brain, you don't have as quick of a reaction time. And so it slows the brain down.
Are you ready? Here it goes.
What we do in the laboratory is devise very refined tests that can tell whether the alcohol is impairing or worsening your performance on a task. And everything tells us that in the developing body, the effects are likely to be stronger and more harmful than in the adult body. The adolescent or teenage body is still growing, and it needs all its resources to develop normally. So it's not by accident that the drinking age is 21 now in most states.
In fact, alcohol causes severe problems with learning and, in particular, growth and development in children. Alcohol has a much harder effect on the brains of children than it does on adults because you're still making what we call synapses or connections between the cells in your brain, which are called, does anybody know what the cells in your brain are called?
Neurons?
Neurons, right.
Exactly, and alcohol affects these neurons. They prevent you from being able to study more effectively. They prevent you from being able to coordinate your emotions more effectively. So alcohol affects your brain cells. It kills these brain cells so that you don't have as many brain cells to use when you think. You don't have as many brain cells to use when you play sports, or you don't have as many brain cells to use when you study for a test. So this is why it's important to keep in mind that alcohol is damaging to your brain and can be damaging to your life.
I just feel that alcohol made me stupid. It like numbed my brain.
It does affect your brain cells a lot.
And I was getting like, stupid, even when I was sober.
If you're drinking and you can't do your homework, you're not going anywhere.
Without an education, I ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
It makes it a lot harder to concentrate.
Well, I know my brain was operating real slow.
That's too bad, because you lose, alcohol beats you.
From getting into fights to sexual violence, arguments with friends, alcohol poisoning leading to death, getting lower grades in school, or simply missing out on some other type of healthy fun. Losing brain cells forever, or losing opportunities that will never come again. How, instead, can you get the most out of life?
The answer is simple. Think. Don't drink.
I have so many wonderful things in my life now because I don't drink.
You can just be high off life.
I'm actually living my life. It's not just me walking, getting through each day. I'm actually living my life.
I can do anything that I put my mind to while I'm sober.
Let yourself grow to be your best. Be strong and be whoever you want to be.
I want to be happy. I want to live my life.
I'm going right back to school.
I'm gonna go there and get my education.
I want to go to college because I want to become either an accountant, an urban sociologist, or an intelligence research specialist.
I know I want to help troubled teens.
I would like to be a counselor.
They made a difference in me,
I want to speak to people about alcohol.
and I want to make a difference in somebody else's life.
Be strong. Know what's right for you. And be a leader. Show others that you can have fun without drinking.
Well, I know you don't need a drink to have fun. There's so many other things out there you can do.
I like swimming. I'm a good swimmer.
I like talking to my friends a lot, my sober friends.
I like playing sports.
I like to rollerblade.
Get some tickets, go to the movie,
I like to bike ride.
go skating,
I like hanging out at the mall.
A theme park.
do anything, go to basketball games.
Running, hiking, dancing,
I like working on cars.
listening to music,
Do positive things.
jamming on instruments.
I like to go fishing.
You can do anything and have fun. You don't have to drink.
Keep growing and being your best.
Every day, grow stronger and smarter. Be healthy.
And be happy.
You'll thank me later. I mean, it could save you a lot of trouble if you don't pick up that one drink.